To you and welcome to this Thursday edition of our roundtable discussion on G-Thing TV. My name is Franz Molefe Modise. I'm your co-host. And I'm also with my co-host, Mr. Paul Mage. Well, as you would know, the battle for Ward 31 councillorship is on, and this evening I'm joined by 4 gentlemen representing their respective political parties from AZAPO, Democratic Alliance, Action SA, and Economic Freedom Fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, the roundtable discussion starts right now, and introducing our guests, starting from my closer left. We are joined by Mr. Ofenze Madzibatela. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Remdis.
And representing Action SA, we are joined by Mr. Mpo, my apologies. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Representing AZAPO, we are joined by Mr. Hanare Lefoka. Good evening and welcome to you, sir.
No, good evening and to the viewers of GTV.
Representing Economic Freedom Fighters, we are joined by Mr.
Good evening to you, to all the panelists and to the viewers at home. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Mage?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Gentlemen, without wasting time, starting with you, Mr. Madzibatela. You will each have 3 minutes, and just to unpack your key points of manifesto in relation to what 31 service delivery challenges. What are you promising residents of Ward 31? Why must they vote for you on the 1st of November?
Right, when we appreciate the opportunity given to us. Ga-Rankwa, Ward 31 specifically, Tshwane in general, because we cannot divorce Ward 31 from the city itself. Look, I think we have outlined our manifesto, and our manifesto not only speaks to only us, but to Ward 31, but at the city at large. At the forefront of our 10 points, which I will not talk of all of them due to time, but those that I will indicate are the ones that I believe become priority. Right now, we are faced with load shedding, and the number one point in our manifesto is prioritizing the electrical grid as well as the water infrastructure. Not so long ago, we were having water shedding. Now we are having load shedding. These are fundamentals that we cannot let go of and not attend to. So the Democratic Alliance is promising voters of the city, voters of Ward 31, that the issue of electricity as well as water infrastructure is at the foremost important. We cannot talk about job creation unless we have a stable energy grid. We cannot talk about job creation if our water supply is not good. Clover just left recently in Lichtenberg. We do not want to see such things happening. If we are to have economic growth, especially at the local level, we need water, we need electricity, and then we also will be focusing on sound financial management as a party. Look, the Democratic Alliance, contrary to what people have been told, we have not really been in charge of Tshwane because we do not have the majority. Now, wherever we govern, we have proven, and where we have the majority, we have proven that we manage with sound financial management systems. You go to Midval, for an example. In Midval right now, I was listening to the radio when I was coming. The output outgoing mayor, DA mayor, Mr. Bongani Balo, is known as Mr. Clean Audits. That's the DA brand. We are known to be the party that is good in financial management. There's no service delivery without money. We cannot talk service delivery unless we have money. What are you going to give people? If we talk about indigenous, indigenous programs, they need money. If there's no coffers, then we cannot provide for free water. Then we cannot provide for or subsidize electricity. Then we cannot talk about social and social alleviation programs. We need money, and for us to have money, we need sound financial management. And furthermore, we are talking economic growth. Economic growth cannot happen unless the first that I've mentioned have come forward. The support of small, medium, micro enterprises. The support of Thabo at the corner there, how do we empower Thabo, and how do we empower Meola Regisa Dipatlo to hire more people? The other day, as we were doing door-to-door Tatemudis, we spoke to Meola Regisa Dipatlo Mozun Tumola. He's having a problem. Load shedding 2 o'clock on a good go to now, after 2 o'clock on register the amount of sparkles that he used to, Utswanete a lay of 2 more people. He had 4 young boys, now Utswanete a lay off because of load shedding. So as the Democratic Alliance, we need to help these small, medium, micro enterprises on how do they mitigate the issue of load shedding, renewable energy at the forefront. If I may say, in the Western Cape, we have prioritized renewable energy. We have budgeted 13 million to deal with this issue. We want to do the same thing here in Tshwane. We want to do the same thing here in Ward 31. Give us 51% and we'll be able to deliver without any mistake.
Thank you, Mr. Mokoena. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Okay, thanks. I prefer using the first names up front.
Yes.
Okay, basically, Action SA, most people call it New Kids on the Block. It's actually not New Kids on the Block, it's experienced people. Speaking to people of Ward 31, what I personally commit is a safe and secure community whereby we will not have criminals walking around freely. We have to first get our law enforcement in order. We cannot have a state where lawlessness is just something we're not looking at. If we want to speak economics, first we need to have an order in our wards, which is the foundation of any city. If you want to speak city of Tshwane, first let's talk individual wards, which constitutes a city. Now, if we have a safe and secure community, then people are able to go to work and generate income. Our city is able to make money out of, instead of people illegally connecting electricity, our city is able to make money. The second one, if we improve our law enforcement and not have all these people masquerading around in police uniform, taking bribes, we usually call it Jojo Mugas. Then we have people who are dedicated to law enforcement. Then our illegal immigrants will not feel free to roam around the city, but and that's one thing that is key for Action SA. And when we speak of Action SA, I'll go back to the phrase, New Kids on the Block. We're not actually new kids on the block. We have been in private sectors. As citizens, we are not politicians. We came together as citizens concerned about South Africa as a whole, not as a ward. I was born and bred in Ward 31. I know all the difficulties. 7 o'clock, you can't walk alone in the street because somebody with no identification might rob you. Our parents have to lock. We are becoming a high-gated community.
Unfortunately, your 3 minutes is up.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much and good evening. The situation of Ga-Rankwa is really painful and pathetic. It's painful because historically you'll remember that Ga-Rankwa was first demarcated as part of the Northwest Province. But all the time, those who had done the demarcation knew that in a future date, Ga-Rankwa is going to be demarcated as part of Ga-Rankwa. So post-1994, Ga-Rankwa was underdeveloped because of that very same reason. And when Ga-Rankwa was made to be part of Gauteng, we had joined into the Gauteng province with a disadvantage that other areas within the city of Tshwane had seen development as a result of the democratization of our country in 1994. So I have been talking to the residents of Ga-Rankwa, and that point, it's a sore point to them that they seem to be lagging behind in comparison to other areas within the city. So we have seen post-1994 that development in Ga-Rankwa in very critical areas has been very slow. In the area of provision of housing, in the area of ensuring that the streets are tarred, in the areas of ensuring that Ga-Rankwa becomes a safe area for the community to live in. But then you also have to understand and profile the residents of Ga-Rankwa. And you would understand that Ga-Rankwa, despite the fact that we've got TUT and Medunza, the majority, especially of the young population, is unemployed, but it's also unemployable because they don't have grade 12. So the issue of joblessness in Ga-Rankwa is a key problem area that needs to be resolved, and Azapo promises to address that. But then in terms of our manifesto and the next coming 5 years, Azapo believes that the whole issue of provision of basic services, and by basic services I mean electricity, water, sanitation, public transport, basic health and so on. Those things are a human right. And what we have seen post-94, irrespective of which party was governing, is that we have seen a trend where the provision of those basic services has been commercialized. It means people are being provided services with a profit motive in mind. And that has caused a problem which has resulted in most of the residents not affording basic services. So if you study Ward 31, you would see that it is one of the wards where, for example, residents are unable to pay their monthly rates and taxes, they are unable to afford electricity and so forth. And it is precisely because the way the governments, the local governments, firstly by the ANC and currently by the DNA, they have commercialized the provision of services and they made that not to be affordable to residents. So Azapo wants to fight for that basic human right so that it becomes a universal provision of those basic services, irrespective of whether you afford them or not. And whether when people want to use more, then they can pay. But you need to ensure that each and every household has access to basic services.
Thank you.
Thank you, Franz. The Economic Freedom Fighters is a radical, fearless, militant organization that brings together activists, non-government organizations, workers' movements, all under the umbrella of economic emancipation.
Yes.
Our manifesto is informed by our funding manifesto, which characterize the EFF. Our manifesto is 525 pages. We can talk all about the whole day about it. Yeah. It is a manifesto that has been intensively researched by consulting the communities. It is divided into each and every province, region, municipality and ward. It identifies the problems and also gives diagnosis of those problems. In our ward 31, one of our biggest problems is unemployment. One of our pillars, we have 7 cardinal pillars that makes the EFF. The pillar number 5, it talks about mass development of industrial development. We are having a situation whereby there's joblessness in Ward 31. We have in Zone 15 an industrial site which we, as the EFF, if we're given the chance to lead, we'll have to involve with the stakeholders from that industrial region. I think it's the South African Development Corporation, I think it was the former BNDC, in order to see how we can revitalize that industrial in order for us to create more jobs for the community, especially the youth. The EFF, it has commitments in the manifesto of which outlines how an EFF councillor should be. One, we will have to, the EFF councillor will be available for the community 24 hours. The EFF councillor will have to identify indigents in our communities. And those indigents, because of the fact that they're indigents and they are being paid social grants, they are not going to pay for cemetery at the cemetery. They are going to, if one dies, yes, Mushima, they're not going to pay for that because already they are indigents. An EFF council will have to identify all the indigents in the ward, and those indigents will have to get electricity for free, and they will have to get water for free. The EFF councillor will have to make sure that the clinic is open for 24 hours. An EFF councillor will have to make sure that there is street lights, because we cannot say we are in a safe environment when we don't have street lights. The problem is up. So quick. I haven't even started yet.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Like 5 years.
I still have to tell you a lot about our manifesto.
No,
it's very exciting.
Don't worry, all the time. Now,
Yes, sir.
in terms of your understanding, what would you say are the challenges in Ward 31?
You know, the simple thing, I will sum it up, is a lack of leadership. It's a lack of a visible, accessible leadership. Look, we have a leadership that is absent in Ward 31. People don't know where to go to when they are faced with problems. Yes, the city might have all the things that you need to do, you call, you have a reference, but ultimately at the end of the day, you need someone that will carry you and walk with you. You know, Ndata Matala is raising a very nice point about the BMDC. While we are doing door-to-door, because we are grounding through, they are nowhere to be seen. We do door-to-door, and that hey, that's a door-to-door. You know, I met this old lady. He says he's been calling a councillor to help him with a great title deed. He's been put in Meola Wisiwa Kwale, you know, Uluza Cheletega transportation. And you see, once we have a leader that is present with the people here, Meola Mudimula would not be doing this. The Democratic Alliance is the first party in Tshwane. Ever since, even though we are leading in coalition, we gave the title deeds. Wherever we give refer to the title deeds, I reclaim to land wherever you are, refer title deed. Now, such issues must be addressed, right? So therefore, as the incoming councillor, these are issues that we'll be dealing with. We'll be on the ground, we'll be visible, and we'll be seen, so that people's issues can be addressed. Without leadership, the ship is steered in any direction.
As Action SA, what have you diagnosed as the challenges in Ward 31?
The biggest challenge that everyone is facing, more than 31, is living in fear. One cannot operate productively if you do not feel safe in your house. That's the bottom line. The issue here, service delivery, comes second after people are comfortable where they live. Thirdly, our economic direction is not pointing to the people of Ward 31. When we look at Ward 31, a lot of money is siphoned out of Ward 31 by people outside Ward 31. We have an economic hub, like you look at Sefakomakata. Look at the traffic in the morning. Look at the traffic in the evening.
But does Sefakomakata fall under?
It's within our region.
But it's in 82.
Yes, but what I'm saying is it's an employer opportunity for Batuba Ward 31. It should be servicing people by Ward 31. Now, if you look at Batuba Ward 31, they cry foul when it comes to the employment structure. Employment structure, okay. People were taking CVs, they are friends. Friends which are not here. I understand. So we need to address issue of safety, security. More than one. The street lights in Tshwane.
We got you loud and clear.
You know, it's like I've said, that generally in Ga-Rankwa we have a problem of underdevelopment. In Ward 31, we have a problem of crime. And I would want to explain this issue of crime, that we've got a problem where even politics have been criminalized. Now, because politics have been criminalized and syndicated, now everybody feels that it is free for all. Then other forms of criminality comes up. We've got the drug problem of young people using nyaupe. We've got the problem now of unemployment. And this problem of unemployment can only be addressed if you are able to address the question of economic development within Ward 31. I can tell you that I grew up, I spent most of my young life in Ga-Rankwa. I'm also working as a professional in Ga-Rankwa. I can tell you that most of members of the community of Ward 31 are saddened by the fact that economic activity in Ward 31 is done by what I would refer to as other people. There's no business support for SMMEs, which SMMEs could easily create jobs for the locals. There's a problem of now this issue of illegal foreigners who have taken over the business environment and are also being licensed by the municipality to the exclusion of locals. We have a serious problem. This problem, which I want to emphasize, is the problem of lack of service delivery, where our community is still struggling with basic services. You know, we had in the past 5 years problem of sewage blockages. People have to be in an unhealthy environment. I know some parties are accusing others of sabotaging pipes and so on, but that thing of basic sanitation has been a problem which posed a serious health problem within Ward 31.
That people who deliberately
I'm saying other parties, for example, the DA is in government. It is accusing the ANC of sabotaging service delivery because this ward is controlled by the ANC, which is largely, as it has been said, absent leadership. You see, I don't know, but we have a situation where in those areas of sanitation and control of sewage, we had a very, very serious problem in Ward 31.
But I think Azapo will agree with me that we have dealt with it. At the beginning, there were issues of that because there was deliberate sabotage. Because, like he said, the ward is governed by the ANC. But right now, if you look at it, Selobona Ninsuriji Iran, Demonstrating. I'm asking you,
give me 6 minutes
did you report
because now these people are taking.
Did you report it? Did you report it? So the city is working. No, the city is working. No, the city is working. You reported it to the city and the city is working.
I took somebody by
Let's keep the decorum of the discussion.
Your question is the same.
Yes.
The EFF is the vanguard of the communities. Our our design and organizational design and character says that EFF fighters are activists. I myself is an activist. I was part of the Ga-Rankwa shutdown. I'm part of the CPF. I'm part of. I'm a blog leader here. I'm a chairperson of a clinic committee. I'm a chairperson of the SGB.
But
so we identify the problems. I don't know where they've been when they say they've been making door to door. The problems that we have here in Ward 31. These truths, because we lack a leader, leadership here. I mean, we don't know what this council has been doing for the past 5 years. There's a problem here. So as the EFF, we've identified those problems to say when we come in, we will engage with all the stakeholders, the police, non-governmental organizations, to sit down and map up ways on which how we can curb crime. But also, the issue of the street lights, it's a very serious problem. You'll find the whole block doesn't have streets, doesn't have street lights. We need to, as the incoming, we'll make sure that the street is always lighted, that the people are free and fair when they walk on the street, and that there is less crime in here in Ward 31. We will also engage youth,
I think
businesses. We'll engage businesses.
Way more than
this one is for the last time. I was giving these guys chance to speak.
No, I think
when I was my chance.
enough time. Don't worry, we have time.
But
well, you can see that Azapa is the only one that respects time constraint. And that's the same attitude.
No, but these guys were speaking when I was speaking, and when it's my time to speak, you are cutting me off.
Mikey, I'm sure you have listened to our panelists, and you have 2 or 3 questions to raise. But before you raise questions of your own, from what they have, their summary of manifestos, anything different? Do you think, do they raise anything tangible that talks to the people on the ground, particularly in this Ward of Ward 31?
Yeah, from the presentations, I think what is common is the issue of crime and the issue of lack of accountability. What I liked from all of them, especially as they came back to identify challenges, accountability, political killings or projects or tender killings. I'm not sure how we can phrase it, which is a very serious matter. What 31 only project is ignoring Adia fail, and we don't even understand what happened. Community people are asking already, why was I fail? So that is important for me as a question that they might prepare to answer. What are they going to do about it? And then the other issue, a very interesting issue, economic development. It's easy for parties to promise we will do 1, 2, 3, we'll employ so many, but what is practical and which I think is almost on their purview, those firms that they are talking about, they are not in 131. So, but the issue is, I don't think it is difficult or heavily in power. They might not speak to the colleagues or that one. It could be 130, if I'm not mistaken. Or how can they revive if they fail? So what I would like to know from them, Koro, what is the plan? It's easy to promise, but do you have a plan? What is your plan? And then lastly, the other issue, the tone this electionary. Now I have identified xenophobia, perceived xenophobia. One of the parties which I will not mention by name because I want them to deal with this as fellow campaigners rather than, So the issue of xenophobia, some parties are accused of using racism even in their posters. Other parties are accused of saying other Africans must go. And another party is saying, no, they are Africans, they must stay. And the other party says, no, as black people, people as Africans, we must give people free basic services. Another one is saying Rechege indigency. So for me, it wraps up their electioneering, which for me is very powerful. If I was a voter, it would be difficult for me to choose which one.
Choose the EFF.
I can choose, but now they are given an opportunity to tell Baaki ba mo 31 gore eng re tshwantse re kete councillor Tempo or choose EFF or re tshwantse re choose councillor France ke councillor because I suspect they are going gore tshwantse re choose a councillor Kanare gore tshwantse re choose a councillor Matsivati. So
Jambile Mokwe.
no ke France, he said he prefers France.
I think you have posed 3 questions, and after answering the question, we'll also release Dr. Mazebatela. He has other engagement.
We're going to start again, actually.
You know, ke ratile potso ba bang ba re ba forena ba tsamaye ba bang ba forena sale ke tla ba tlwella yona ba forena go forena stay. Ours is simple. We want legal immigrants with skills, and they must come here to work and improve what they want to come and work and improve Baraking Tshwane at large. As far as that one is concerned, we want people that are legal here, and they must come here to work. They must come here to help improve the economic situation in this city, in this ward. We need skills. If they have skills and they are legal, let them come transfer skills, and let's all work together to improve in the lives and the communities of Tshwane, as well as Zabatuba 31. As far as job creation is concerned, there is no other party in experience of governance with the Democratic Alliance. We've had clean audits, like I've said. Without money, you cannot do anything. Issue of job creation, there is why I never touched the defamation. But then you know, there's a young man he showed me his plan. He has approval itself for the grocery side as well as the liquor side. This young man says, I have applied for a franchise. They are saying okay, but then I don't have a place where it's and this thing. And as the incoming councillor is to hold that young man to say, here is a savings stand. Can those people come? What is the city? What can the city do? What can the ward councillor do in order to help you? Because if we support small, medium, micro enterprises, then we'll be able to create jobs. Look, the tenders are the let's be clear. These people are not entrepreneurs; they are tenderpreneurs. There is why so much killings. We need to move away from the tender system. That's one thing for sure. We need to move away from. Our only place for shopping. People shop.
Okay. That will be my last for him, so that we can release him. Directed to him, not them. Only this issue when the DA took charge of Tshwane, locals, residents complained about the high bill system, joint bill system. Will you do anything different if you come in this time? Because people cry.
Okay, what is the problem with that?
Look, if you speak about clean governance, loosely anybody can say that is good. But the people here interpreted that as saying your strictness, your party line strictness was in terms reflected charging people, even those that cannot afford. You see, so that is why you were accused of a joint billing system, whereby a pensioner is forced to fork out hundreds and hundreds. So I just needed to know. So it is for the benefit of your company.
Yes, no, I
maybe that's not true.
Yeah.
But what do you have to say about it, and how will you deal with it?
I think also the issues are billing, and we are not saying they are not there.
Yes.
And again, it points again back to issue of sabotage. You must remember who's working in the city and how they were employed. The membership card, yellow and green and gold and whatever. Now they are also having their own issues. Some right now decided to strike fair Motswan. Tshwane fela ba tletse Joburg ba tletse Kuruleng ba strike fela mo Tshwane. It is the only metro apparently e leng hore ga etse di tshwanelo tsa teng. But let me not go there. If any person, and I'm saying right now, if any person has a billing issue, they can come to us and we will help them. You know, there's no system that does not have glitches, but we are working on those glitches. The issues are, if you go to the RDP, they will tell you they are at zero and they're starting afresh. They're starting afresh.
Who cleared them?
No, the city itself, isn't it? So we are looking at indigenous. That's why we go back to the issues of indigenous. We have indigenous programs where we are giving people certain amount of water for free, and then we start charging after this amount. We are giving people certain amount of electricity free, then we start charging after you've used this one, then you can start paying.
Okay.
You understand? That's what we are saying.
The issue of
but that is nothing new. It has been happening.
Yes, it has been happening, but I get that issue. And we are saying it's just a glitch. Come forward to the city and say,
it's not a glitch because
can I finish?
It's not a glitch. No, it's not a glitch.
Can we finish?
No, I want to make a point.
But you're making a point.
You know what? I want to ask him. You are leaving. I don't want to talk to you when you're not here.
Yes.
He's leaving. I want to ask him a question in terms of that. It's not a glitch. It's the billing system as a whole. It's in tatas. It doesn't work.
How so?
The people are not built according to how they use, because as we speak now, we don't have meter readers. We don't.
Yes.
In Tshwane, we don't have. Now people are being built.
Why
No, we are asking you.
I'm telling you right now, why is that? You made shut down Ga-Rankwa. You are saying you were at the forefront.
Yes.
We
did not have meter readers for the past 5 years.
Afraid
in Tshwane as a whole, we don't have meter readers. There's no meter readers. There's no meter readers.
As a partner to the
we have never been the partner of.
You are in coalition.
No, we are not in coalition. Ask him. They are in coalition with the Freedom Front. We are not in coalition. We said we will vote.
Okay.
We will vote with them wherever is possible.
No,
we don't have anything in black and white with the DA. It's something that is, it's a distorted information that is from the people. We don't have. We are not in bed with them.
It's a pity the DA representative is leaving, and that is a problem that we have had. Previously with the ANC, it refused to take responsibility of the mess that it has put our city in. Now it is the DA.
No, we're not refusing anything.
Now it's the DA, which is governing the city, even if it is in coalition with other parties. But the dominant policies that guide the city today are those of the DA. And the DA has proven itself to be a racist party, despite its claim to non-racialism. That in its partial development programs, it focuses on historically white areas for development and undermines historically black areas, which we call townships. So the DA, as it has used and pulled its previous leaders, it will do the same with the Councillor for Ward 31, who is just a slave of his white masters of the DA.
I reject number one. I reject number one what he's saying about the Democratic Alliance being a racist party.
But what do you say about the KZN impunity? Those things when you say you call those people who killed black people and say they were heroes. What do you call that? What do you call that? No, but it's true. I mean, it's something that your leader was proudly on the television saying that these people are heroes.
It's fine.
Does he want to be a DA right now?
Racist people are saying
you want to be a DA?
Are heroes.
Can the DA respond to DA issues and the EFF respond to their issues of being?
Now we are in a debate here. We'll ask questions if we have to ask
there's no problem, but allow us to respond. And we are saying, let me respond to Azapo. Let me respond to Azapo. That number one, we are not the racist party. We've been very clear on that issue. We are the only party that promotes non-racialism. We are not going to say blacks this side, whites that side. Even if when you look at our offering of mayors in all metros, diverse, we are the only party that has that diversity.
Let's represent blacks.
Now, let's come to the issues of townships not being prioritized. He himself said it. He said it is difficult to govern under a coalition. You have the DA here, also having its own issues of coalition, not having 51%. Here in townships on IDPs, we have ward councillors that must say to the mayor, in my ward we need this, inform the IDP. Now, but again, the ANC councillors are not doing their job. How will look, Cyril Ramaphosa cannot come to Ga-Rankwa and provide the presidential programs here in Ga-Rankwa. He needs councillors to do it. The mayor cannot go to all wards and provide all 107 wards. It's impossible. He needs his soldiers. He needs his soldiers to provide that. He needs his soldiers. He needs ward councillors telling him, okay, and the provider those IDPs, the provider for those budgets. I will give you an example. In Winterfell, there was a budget there 60 million to build a road. The ward councillor was ANC ignored that budget. The DAPR councillor went and said, but have you seen where there was money allocated for you to go and push this project? That person ignored it. You know what did he say? He said, if we do it, the DA will be seen as a working. Why are you providing dirty water to the people of Amastral? Ask Abel Tau. Ask Abel Tau. He was the MMC there. He was responsible for cleaning the water. He promised us that it is clean. You can check your Google. He failed us also. At the time, Abel Tau was your But anyways, as I was saying, councillors ANC are sabotaging us when it comes to deliveries as the city. There is where 51% there or the wards. Then you will see that we are a delivering party, like we've been doing go Mid Valley, like we've been doing go Cape Town, like we've been doing all over the country.
Part of Cape Town. Part of Cape Town.
The lie
of Cape Town.
The
white part
of the DA representative is that if a councillor is not doing his job and the municipality is under the DA under the executive leadership, under the leadership of the DA can take action against the councillor who's not performing. So they must take responsibility that they are able to manage. So if they can't manage,
do you know municipal bylaws?
I understand them.
How do we remove the ward councillor? We don't have the power.
You must take responsibility and enforce what must be done.
We can't force a ward councillor to do his job.
Let us release him. Now all I have to say for him, because I'll say something also to the others. No, I think run with your campaign only. Just ensure that your residents here, electorate here, they are not struggling to reach you after election, and please provide plans, because the most important difficulty is for us to say we are going to do things and not be able to provide plans. Just go, as you are living, go well, good luck, think about the issue of how you're going to deal with those that you allege they are employed improperly. Another policy that is being used is skills audit. We don't know whether if it is part of your plan, but we know that other mayors, other parties failed to remove people because they are already employed and they are organized, represented by unions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Democracy. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I'm not too sure, which means sorry.
No, you have asked questions which each and every party must respond to. So we want to respond to the points that you have raised. And I see we have a technical glitch of the lighting, but I believe we still look beautiful in the dark as black people. We're not afraid of the dark. You have spoken about the Tanda killings and syndication of procurement opportunities that come from the city council. That is a problem that we have seen not only in Ward 31, where recently somebody who has been awarded a tender to do tarring of roads was brutally murdered. We don't know whether his death is linked to that tender or not. But that is a clear example of how the tender system now has been criminalized. Now we have a number of parties which now thrive on threats, on violence, on criminality. And the EFF is also it's a borderline case with respect to that kind of an approach and attitude. But within the ANC, which has been dominating the Ward 31, even the ward councillor, who's not part of the panel today, was being attacked by his own members for failing to award tenders to them. So it is for that reason that Azapo believes that that the tendering system has to be done away with, especially as part of a key element of addressing job creation and economic development in our area. On economic development, I have previously said that the local business lacked support. Most of the businesses that were in Ward 31 are closed. It may be a shop, a bottle store, or all your SMMEs in their different shapes because of lack of support. And the municipality has failed to come to the support and rescue of that business. And that is why we see what is called illegal foreigners or foreigners are dominating that space. And it is a space that the municipality, as being entrusted with local economic development, has to protect for the benefit of local entrepreneurs. Xenophobia, that is a problem. And it clearly shows lack of understanding, especially also on the part of Action South Africa, of the political dynamics, not only of our areas, Ward 31, but the whole country and Africa as a whole. And this whole thing, we have seen a sad occurrence in our country of foreigners being killed because of xenophobic tendencies that are currently being displayed by the leader of Action SA and unfortunately by my brother sitting to me next door. And we need to make our people understand in Ward 31 that resolving the question of foreigners in our area, it does not start with us demonizing them, criminalizing them. It starts with us teaching our communities, because it is members of our communities who rent out spaces to these foreigners, including illegal foreigners. They need to understand how they contribute to the problem of illegal foreigners. So we will be urging our residents to take responsibility so that as a government, as a ward councillor, we are able to address the question of foreigners in our area. You have also spoken about ensuring that as political parties we deliver for Ward 31. Yes. Under the ANC, there's a form of discrimination that came up, the same one as apartheid, that only ANC members must benefit from opportunities. You go to ward committee meetings where people must be elected as ward committee members. Only ANC members must become ward committee members. That is wrong, and that is discrimination which is not allowed by our constitution. So as a ZAPO, we will demonstrate that being of different political parties does not make us enemies. And as a ward councillor, in terms of stakeholder engagement, we will always work in consultation with other parties, whether they win or they don't win, so that we have that cohesion and unity in our community to ensure that Ward 31 develops and becomes a successful ward within the municipality of Tshwane.
Okay, so that means from here you have what committee?
No. Ward committees are elected by residents. But I'm just saying we will not have a party political approach that seeks to say only AZAPO members must be ward committee members, only AZAPO members must benefit from EW, EPWP, and so on. You understand?
2016, they cancelled ward committees.
So that kind of a tendency, which was, I said, it's part of the ANC. You understand? And then under the DA, obviously you can see that their development trajectory sidelines, especially these areas that are called the North, Ga-Rankwa, Mabopane, Hammanskraal. You see, we are victims of the racist approach of DA, which seeks to maintain the beauty and development and success of previously white areas.
Okay, let me just do it like this. Let me ask you a question that is directed to the party that you represent. As we do our research around Ward 31, when people saw AZAPO and saw your face, and they said, no, but we know this comrade. Can they, where have they been? Why it looks like the party is now visible towards election time? To us, this sounds like political opportunism. What would AZAPO say to respond to the locals? Where was AZAPO? If it was really missing, was it missing?
It is quite interesting that you see in my community of Ward 31, I convened together with my committee meetings that dealt with the issue of crimes, with the issue of provision extension of TAT roads in our area. I'm part of that meeting and I'm part of that committee. So you must understand, when we go to meetings as AZAPO, we don't go there and shout that AZAPO is here. We go there as residents. And one has contributed, even on the whole program of Ga-Rankwa against crime. We have been part of that program. You understand? So people must understand the difference of pursuing political party objectives. And local government, if you can have a look at it, it is an area where all of us have to rise above political party differences, because it is said that it is the delivery point of government. You understand? So AZAPO has always been there. We are there, and that is why most members of the community, from the time when we were involved in the anti-BOP struggle, I was part of that committee. In the OD Residence Coordinating Committee, I was part of that committee. I've always played a role in contributing towards the development, not only of Ga-Rankwa, but Azania or South Africa.
So there was no incognito?
No.
Who's ready?
No, I'm always ready. I'm always
Just on the big question.
well, the reason why I started explaining our character, where we come from, is that our policies. One, we don't believe in, we are a socialist movement, we don't believe in tender systems. Yes, that's one of the things that we've been saying, that when the EFF comes into power, we're going to abolish the tender system, because the tender system have demonstrated that it also enriches the few.
State capture of some sort.
You know, it's a state capture. In Ward 31, it's a Ward 31 capture to certain people. You know, I don't know. My learned colleague here is fortunate to have attended a ward meeting where they've chosen even a CLO. I've never seen anything like that in 131. I've been fighting here to say, how can there be a project here in 131, but you don't consult the community, you don't call a meeting in order for the community to appoint or elect a CLO? You know, the CLOs that you are seeing now are just rascals, former prisoners, people who are known to have been guns and stuff like that. You know, you can't even engage such people because they don't even understand the political landscape. You know, just people who came here just wanting to make a few bucks, or they're trying to protect someone. You know. So it's a problem that we are facing here in Ga-Rankwa, in Ward 31, and unfortunately everywhere the ANC has this culture of surrounding its leaders, surrounding themselves with thugs and criminals. Those people will close projects. Those people will fight amongst each other. They even killing the very same councillors, ANC councillors. You know, there's this class inside the very same ANC whereby their very own people cannot even get jobs if you are not falling into a certain faction. So if the very same members of the very same organization are suffering within its own organization, the community members won't even get a job. A simple job as to raising a flag in a construction in a construction site, you won't get it as an ordinary community member because of this system that has been created by this party, the governing party, in terms of people coming here.
We have less than 5 minutes.
Because
So I'm less than 5 minutes.
no,
Leadership, you're not fair. Let's just finish, because I've been responded to the economic
that is where I was trying to get into.
Yes.
For the issue of free services,
Yes.
and the issue of mass economic development. What is their plan? How do they think they will take it?
Like I said in the beginning, I've spoken about one of our pillars, which is pillar number 5, which talk about industrial development. Remember when you asked the question you posed about how are we going to do it, because this is 130. I think it's a Ga-Rankwa, it's an industrial site for all Ga-Rankwa people. And then I think we will engage, like I said in my opening, with the SADC or the BNDC, I don't know which one is it now, but we will engage with this kind of people to say, let's open it up. And also, we will engage with businesses, small businesses, whether you sell stalkies or anything like that. We'll have to create forums, and we have to create an economical hub for ourselves. For instance, we can create something, a market in Zone 2, maybe near Valoi, because it's always full of people there, and say people should try to sell there. We need to create something for our own people in order to create our economic emancipation for ourselves. So by doing that, we have to engage with the businesses. First of all, we need to sit down and call all the businesses in the meeting and come up with ideas on how we'll do it, how we can create an economic hub for ourselves in what they want, and not depend on any other people or on tenders or anything like that. We will also, the EFF will also like to encourage people to go into agrarian or farming, and we will also encourage people or the community's businesses, like big business like the ShopRite and the Pick and Pay, to order from the very same people that are selling from home. Designers, we would like to see a local designer's clothes in one of the stores here.
So proudly local.
Proudly local staffs, in order to empower these local people, these local up-and-coming designers or up-and-coming farmers and stuff like that. What was the other question?
Okay, maybe just to say, would you help these locals, because now they are overly charged and taxed, whereas migrants or those that are coming from other countries, they seem to have it easy to open a spaza shop, to put the stalikis, but local people cannot do it. They have been told that no, you cannot, you must have licenses and what. What will you do as an incoming councillor if you open to be there? Is it going to be a free for all, or how? What is the plan?
Yes, we will have to up and coming businesses. We'll have to help them. In order for them to grow,
to be able to run,
to run, to start up and to run, we'll have to help them. Like I said, that we will have meetings with all small businesses. We'll hear from we'll hear from their issues, what kind of help they will be needing from the council of what they want, and then we will be able gladly to help them.
Okay, maybe I think we can.
Okay, I'll touch on 3 of your questions. The first one, the plan to develop what they want economically. First and foremost, as a candidate councillor, what's happening?
Oh, sorry, you may look at the camera.
Experience, you will know. You cannot start a business without a project plan. The end goal, it's what we call it. In the project plan, you will have what we call stages. The first stage, why people say Action SA is xenophobic. If we call us xenophobic, we will embrace the wording. But let me explain what Action SA stands for. Action SA says all the illegal immigrants must be taken back home. Not violently, we respect the rule of law. JMPD is supposed to uphold the rules of bylaws. All the spaza shops, all this Pakistani, Somali, Tshwane metropolis, it's the one that is supposed to be upholding the bylaws. They are absent in what they want. If you see them, they are here to collect whatever they are collecting behind our eyes. All right. Now, if you look at how much economic loss that is happening because of these spaza shops, that's an employable opportunity in an informal market. However, if we want to go on a formal, because we cannot only rely on informal economic system, we also have to have a formal. People need to get qualifications. We need to have lawyers. We need to have accountants as a country. That starts with the word. If we're not going to promote the youth from the school level and educate them properly, then we are not going to have South Africans who are progressing. Informal economy is also a good economy, but we also need all spheres of economy occupied by the young people, by the youth. All right. Now, if we say, as Action SA, all illegal immigrants should not operate businesses, it's our constitution as South Africa that they are not allowed because they are illegal in our country. If you want to call it xenophobic, by all means, I embrace the word. I will say I'm xenophobic. Secondly, with all the projects that are hanging, it's because people will give it all kinds of names. ANC, DA, coalition and stuff. All those are scapegoats. The main problem is ethical leadership. If you do not have ethical leaders, you will have corruption. Now, in the beginning, I explained the word. We need the rule of law. If the rule of law is non-existent, then it's a free-for-all. It's like we are in a jungle, everyone for himself. That's why you see people killing each other. Now, as Action SA, we say it all starts with ethical leadership. Let's bring in the rule of law. Let the metropolis enforce the bylaws. Let the SAPS perform their duties to their utmost best. Together, if we bring in the law enforcement, the ideas that we all in this panel have will be viable, will be practical. But as long as we do not have somebody from DRC Congo comes into the country, goes into one of our health facilities, delivers a baby for the cost of about 9,000. Statistics South Africa has a budget for the health system. If we do not know our numbers as a country, we're going to deplete whatever little resources we have. So that's why we say, let's have legal migrants, which we will be able to cater for. Illegal immigrants, let them move out. That way, our economic system will be able to be stabilized. The load shedding that we are experiencing, it's an overflow of population.
But your leader is saying all foreigners must go.
No, he didn't say all.
All foreigners must
For
go.
me,
No, he didn't say.
from my part. I think
that is your departure point, and that's what you.
I think our candidates, at least the ones that we have now, I think they really have captured what the going-ons in and out of their respective area. For as long as they can focus on what is their mandate, their objective. Their main objective is service delivery. Their main objective is to make sure that there is a healthy, clean environment for our people to stay in, and that is their responsibility as incoming councillors. Their main objective is that thing that they've all raised, accountability, and then also including community in whatever that they are doing. So if they can go out there to do this, even if they are not winning, but they still continue to be active and form that structure that they are saying it is no longer existing. I think what the Tshwane is going places as leaders, at least for the ones that we have here today. Maybe others will.
And the ones who ran away.
I think on that note, gentlemen, let's wrap it up with the last question to say you have summary, you've given the summary of your manifestos. You have identified the service delivery challenges in what the Tshwane. You have to a certain extent outlined what you are going to do, your plans in terms of that, and perhaps the final question to you all in less than 60 seconds each to say what is your profile, why people must then vote for you, what is your background, yes, as a person, why must people on the first of
in short, what have you done?
yes,
Okay, I can go.
Yeah, in 60 seconds.
In 60 seconds. Okay. My name is Huitsimam. Educationally, I'm from an accounting perspective. Experience, I've worked for numerous financial institutions. I've worked in customer-centric environment. I've worked for telecommunications companies, in managerial and in lower level. Mainly what I understand, for any business to succeed, we need commitment, we need ethical leadership, and above all, we need accountability and control. Without those 4 pillars, nothing will be achieved. So, if we can say leadership is wrong, leadership is absent, nothing will be achieved.
Thank you. Rakana?
Yeah, I offer the community of Ward 31 a trustworthy and reliable leadership. I've been with this community for many years as a community activist. I've led and participated in the struggles for freedom of this community, including that time of Tshwane. I've been a local business person who has participated in economic development initiatives, including being the Chief Executive Officer of Tshwane Chamber of Commerce. I've been a leader of AZAPO, including national leadership, but I don't undermine local participation. And more importantly, I think I've demonstrated my love and commitment to this community, that even in my professional capacity as a lawyer, I've decided to set up my own office and work for the advancement of the rights of the community of Ga-Rankwa. And I think in that respect, one will understand that I've been involved in anti-crime initiatives, anti-drug initiatives, youth development initiatives, business development initiatives, and I think for a larger part of my life, I've done nothing less than contributing towards the advancement of the community of Ga-Rankwa.
Thank you.
The people of Ga-Rankwa, you know me, I'm Tsepo or Tsepo Matlaila. I've been in the forefront of service delivery even before we get here. I've been involved in crime prevention programs. I've been fighting for the rights of the people of Ga-Rankwa. I've been fighting for the youth to get employment by the PIYE president, what. I've been going to schools myself, getting youth in those positions that were given to people who are not from Ga-Rankwa, who were asked from outside Ga-Rankwa. I've been stopping project in Prasa, whereby people outside from Ga-Rankwa were working there and putting the people of Ga-Rankwa there. So I'm an EFF member, a fighter. So what I'm promising you is that I will fight for you. I'm not promising you tenders. I'm not promising you anything except the fact that I will look at each and every person as a community member. I will not go under in political affiliation, but look at people as community members and serve them, because our manifesto doesn't allow us only to serve people because they are from certain political affiliations. As a councillor, I think one needs to be a councillor of the people. So I am fit that profile very well. I've been in the forefront of service delivery, like I said before. I've been involved in a lot of things. I've been guided by the EFF manifesto, which have 7 pillars. I've been fighting for the people for a long time. The land expropriation.
Yeah, on that note, we can leave it at that. Well, on that note, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For participating.
Thank you.
And that's how we come to the end of our program.
In the meantime, they go and think if they will have to form coalitions.